Thank you for joining me for Sefer HaMitzvos, lesson 112, which is covering positive mitzvah number 95. Positive mitzvah number 95 is regarding the annulment of vows. And this is an interesting one because there's not a verse that specifically says that we can annul vows. We're commanded to practice, according to Rambam, to practice, and according to the sages, to practice Torah mandated procedure in the event that a vow is to be annulled. So the commandment here is somewhat based on verse 30, verse 3 of chapter 30 of Numbers, which says, "He shall not profane his word. He shall not make it profane." From which the sages deduce that the one who enacted the vow may not profane his own word, but others, such as a sage or a rabbinical court, may do so. So, nevertheless, the Talmud says that the annulment of vows hangs in the air with no explicit biblical support for it. The Torah does, however, explicitly tell us that a husband and a father can nullify vows when the woman is in their home, whether it be his daughter or his wife, and on the same day for the husband. And tradition teaches that a sage too has the power to do so. So the idea is, and I've mentioned this before, that that a person doesn't have the ability to wipe away their own vow. If you say something, you're held to that vow, unless in the case of the girl, that her father or her husband annuls it according to the what's prescribed in the Torah. However, I mentioned before that if you made a vow harshly, like you just on a whim, you probably didn't think it through, and so you really didn't consider the full ramifications of this vow that you were taking upon yourself. And so what the sages say is that it really can be any three Jewish men that can kind of the word in Hebrew is like unravel the vow. So they go through and they start pulling at threads and finding, is there a loose thread here to this vow that was taken in without considering all the ramifications. And so if someone says, well, I would have never, they would actually grill you. So if you come to them and they would grill you and say, well, did you consider this when you made the vow? Did you consider that? And keep going until they find something that is a reason to validly say that this mitzvah, or this vow, was never binding on you in the first place. So they unravel it and come to the conclusion, basically, that this vow has no hold on you. And then at that point, you are free from the vow. But this, also comes to show us that we need to be very careful and take very seriously the things that come out of our mouth, and only in the case where we've really stopped and considered. The person who goes to the court to say that they want to annul their vow, has to have really considered and regretted the fact that they did this vow, and this in a sense is almost like an act of repentance for making this harsh vow, and so they regret it. They come to the court, and the court finds a way to release them of this vow. Again, that is something that the Torah does definitely say that a husband and a father can do. Where the oral tradition comes, it says that a sage or a court could do that. So in the case of a woman or a wife who makes a vow in her husband's home or in her father's home, then if they did not annul the vow, then she would have to go before a court in order to annul this vow. So very interesting mitzvah, and also an interesting one that to see this, that the sages say this mitzvah hangs in the air with no explicit biblical basis. So, all right, thank you so much for joining me for this study, and have a good Shabbos. Have a great day in every way.